Maryland Governor Wes Moore, the nation's only black governor and a rising Democratic star, has vetoed legislation that would have created a commission to study reparations for slavery, drawing sharp criticism from fellow Democrats and the state's legislative Black Caucus. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest videos. We put a lot of effort into bringing you valuable content, and your support means the world to us. Thanks for being part of our journey. The bill, SB 587, would have established the Maryland Reparations Commission, tasked with delivering recommendations by 2027 for addressing historic inequalities tied to slavery. Moore, however, said his decision wasn't a rejection of the idea of reparations, but rather a stance against creating more bureaucracy when action is already underway. "I applaud the legislature's work on this bill," Moore said in his veto message. "But now is not the time for another study. Now is the time for continued action that delivers results." He pointed to other recent efforts, such as Maryland's Lynching Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and said his administration remains focused on closing the racial wealth gap, boosting minority homeownership, and fighting structural inequality. But Moore's decision disappointed many, especially within the Democratic Party. The state's Black Caucus issued a statement expressing deep disappointment, saying the veto was a missed chance to lead on racial justice at a time when federal efforts to support black communities are being rolled back. At a time when the White House and Congress are actively targeting black communities, their statement read, Governor Moore had a chance to show leadership. Instead, he blocked historic legislation aimed at repairing the damage of enslavement. Moore, seen by some as a potential 2028 presidential contender, is now facing criticism from within his own party over whether pragmatism is overriding bold action. The debate now centers on whether results-driven governance justifies sidelining symbolic and potentially transformative initiatives.
Wes Moore vetoes reparations, but yet fight for illegal migrants. I told y'all we'll never get reparations with these house niggas in position that they are. These niggas are known sellouts, y'all. Now let's listen to this here. He vetoed reparations for blacks, but let's see what he's talking about.
Overnight in Prince George's County, Maryland Governor Wes Moore joining the fight to bring home a Beltsville father mistakenly deported. Our Randy Ayala is live outside the federal courthouse in Greenbelt with more. And Randy, that's where the legal fight to get this man home is shaping up.
Yeah, good morning to you, Allison. So the man's family suing the Trump administration over this mistake. They'll be here at this courthouse on Friday presenting their case. In a statement overnight, Maryland Governor Wes Moore says that it is outrageous that this current federal administration, that due process just means nothing to them. So let's get to the details of how we got to this point here. Right now, Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia remains behind bars in El Salvador in a prison known for housing gang members. The Trump administration admits that his deportation was a clerical error, but insists that he is a leader in the MS-13 gang. Now, his attorney and family are denying that allegation. They say Abrego Garcia has no criminal record and was granted protection to stay here in the U.S. back in 2019. That's after proving that he would face violence if he was deported back to El Salvador. It all began when Prince George's County Police questioned him outside a Home Depot in 2019. A confidential informant at the time claimed that he was in MS-13, but he was never arrested or charged. And then last month, this March, ICE pulled him over, detained him, and deported him despite his protected status. Getting him back, not going to be an easy feat here. Immigration attorney Kelly Ortega says the U.S. would have to ask El Salvador to give him back, and potentially they could say no.
Will likely argue that they believe he's a gang member and say we are not returning him anywhere. He's technically ours and ours to keep.
Now, Abrego Garcia's wife only learned where he was after spotting him in a photo that the administration shared of migrants that have been deported back to El Salvador. Of course, he was working as a sheet metal mechanic here in Prince George's County. The couple share a 5-year-old special needs son. So he will remain in prison there in El Salvador, while back here in Prince George's County, his family is fighting to get him back. And now we're seeing a lot of Maryland officials, Maryland lawmakers getting in on this fight to bring him back home. But as I mentioned, not going to be an easy feat here. Of course, something we will continue to follow and see how this plays out in court. Back to you.